Goodbye, Dnipro. You were amazing. Love ya. Don't go changing. On my way to Kharkiv. Woo! 1,000 kilometers. Woo! I've traveled 1,000 kilometers. Means nothing. I just thought I'd film it. About 33 minutes from Kharkiv, so hopefully I should be there in around 4 o'clock. Laters. Okay, so we are now pretty much on the outskirts of Kharkiv. Well, pretty much we're coming into Kharkiv center now. And I know that because the army checkpoints are a little bit more rigorous, should one say. But I mean, that's not surprising because Kharkiv is 30 kilometers or less than 20 miles from the Russian border, the actual Russian border, not the pretend wannabe Russian border that they've imparted themselves upon the Ukrainian nation, but the actual Russian-Ukrainian border. And Kharkiv, it's been hit badly. The Russians gave it a good old kick-in. Well, they tried to, but then the Ukrainians kicked them back out and sent them scampering back across the border again. But it was slaughtered, and is... Oh, hold on, I have to put my hands down. Fucking tanks. So yeah, so Kharkiv is ready to rock and roll because they're literally less than 20 miles away. And also the city of Belgorod in Russia. You may have heard of that city because Russian militants, anti-Kremlin Russian militants, so it would be pretty much pro-Ukraine, they support Ukraine's right to be a sovereign nation, but they would regard themselves as Russian patriots. And that is the thing that we have to remember here, is that millions upon millions of Russians don't support the war, and don't support Putin, and don't support the Kremlin, but they're just afraid to say anything. So, but that's a story for later, for another time. Just a quick update, just to let you know, I'm in Kharkiv. I'm about 11 minutes from my hotel. So, yeah, we'll talk later. So this is city number Odessa, Kherson, Dnipro, and now Kharkiv. This car is falling apart. There is a wheel bearing gone, no question about it. I have an air pressure warning light that's been on for the last 800-900 kilometers. Yeah, all the tires are fine. Yeah, they could have put some thick and windscreen washer in the bloody thing. There's no windscreen washer in it. There's another checkpoint. This is the third checkpoint in only a space of a couple of... Okay, it's getting a bit hairy now because traffic is heavy. A lot more checkpoints, and this car's a... I'm filming over there. And this car's a piece of crap. So, we'll talk later on. Chat to you later. Bye-bye. So welcome to Kharkiv. I have a funny feeling this is probably going to be one of my shorter videos. Oh, thanks be to Jesus, I hear some of you say. But the reason being is, I don't think there's a huge amount to see in Kharkiv, unless you're into churches. If you're a Christian, knock yourself out. There are churches, cathedrals, monasteries, some of the most beautiful in the world. I've seen some of the pictures, and indeed, they do look beautiful. But seeing as I don't really do the God thing, I just don't care. So other than that, there's a couple of parks, a few monuments, stuff like that. And well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, hasn't really been the point of my trip around Ukraine, as it, I don't even know what I'm talking about, hasn't really been the purpose of my trip. Sorry, I'm gonna put these on, around Ukraine. What I've been trying to kind of do is kind of portray a feel for the city, for the country, and kind of like what the cities are like on the ground. How are people living? What is life? What is normal life like here? We have this perception of Ukraine. I don't think it's unfair to say somewhat less than positive. So maybe I'm just trying to change that, because yeah, I didn't know myself until I got here, but I have been pleasantly surprised since I've been here, for all the cities. So Kharkiv is actually the second largest city after Kiev. The other two, Odessa being third and Dnipro being fourth. So I've already done third and fourth, now I'm in second. Tomorrow I'm off to Kiev, where I'll be doing the largest city in Ukraine. And Ukraine is massive, I've said this before. It's bigger than France, it's bigger than Germany, it's bigger than Spain, it's bigger than Poland. It's actually the biggest country in Europe, apart from Russia and Turkey. It's huge, it's massive. I'm after doing over 1,000 kilometers so far, and I have barely scratched the surface. So these little videos may be a little bit rushed. I'm only kind of trying to get a background of each city, like that morning or when I arrive. So you'll have to bear with me. But suffice to say that so far, Ukraine as a country, apart from East Ukraine where the roads are absolutely bollocks and the cities are decimated, and that, as we know why. So I don't know what to expect of Kharkiv. I may get some little snippets here and there that get my interest, and I will talk a bit more about the city, especially in relation to the ongoing war. So, okay, I need to get back to my sat-nav and figure out where the hell I'm going. So we'll chat to you later on. Slava Ukraini. So I had read about this place. This is one of the churches, an actual church that was bombed. I've had a look inside. I'm not going to film, obviously it's disrespectful, but people are going in. It's a full-on church inside, but there's new concrete everywhere. It's like a building site inside where people are going in to try and pray, because where else do they go? So they've rebuilt it to a state where it's safe, and people are going in there to pray. Okay, this was supposed to be the Independence Monument, flying Ukraine, except it's covered. And lads are wrecking me head with the music. I'll come back. Okay, that is the monument to independence, flying Ukraine. As you can see, it is being protected. This was my first port of call from my hotel. I was coming down to have a look at this. As you can see, it's fully covered up. And that's the reality when you're less than 20 miles away from the Russian border. And Kharkiv did undergo some of the fiercest battles of the war earlier on. But it took 5 months from February 22 up until May 22, when they were finally beaten back to the Russian border. But Kharkiv was hit badly, and it still undergoes, well, it's still under constant threat, being so close. So this would be one of the cities where it'd still be targeted quite regularly. So maybe this plays into the atmosphere here. It's just that people, kind of like Kherson, a little bit kind of beaten down. Okay, we're away from the front line here now, but they're still under constant threat, and the Russians are still only 30 kilometers away. Kharkiv definitely has much more of a Soviet influence than the likes of Dnipro or Odessa, or even Kherson to an extent if you look through the rubble. So Kharkiv would have had one of the highest Russian speakers. I think it's about 80% were Russian speakers And having said that, in 1991, when the vote for independence, the referendum on independence was held in Ukraine, 86% voted in favor for an independent Ukraine. 86%. Yeah, this has much more Soviet feel about it. Apparently Kharkiv is known for having such beautiful metro stations. So here we are. I need to get from one side of the road to the other. So let's have a quick look. Let's also remember these metro stations were used as bomb shelters. So, let's see. Maybe this isn't one of them. I'm going to need a ticket to go down, and I'm not getting a ticket just to go down. Maybe tomorrow. Never get really bored. I'm really hungry. Okay, this is a metro station or an impromptu bomb shelter. Whatever time of the day or evening it is. Right. Where do I go? Kharkiv, please. Don't be letting the rest of Ukraine down. Grab me. Motivate me. Suck me into your bosom. Okay, that was probably a little bit too much now. There has to be somewhere to get something to eat. Has to be. I'm hungry. Okay. From what I can gather or find, this is actually an opera house. I don't think we can get a bigger demonstration of Soviet brutalists, architecture, whatever you want to call it, than this monolith here. That is not an attractive building. But apparently, amazing acoustics, fantastic performances. I guess that's what counts. And I guess there's some people who would think that this architecture is somewhat appealing. Maybe it's just the banners. If they removed the banners, maybe clean them. I don't know. God, no, that's fucking ugly. No, I'm not into opera anyway. It's not the Sydney Opera House, put it that way. I mean, there's distinctive and there's distinctive. I mean, I'll give you that. It's distinctive. But it's not Sydney. Sorry, Kharkiv. I'm sure your performances are amazing, though. You may sense a certain lack of enthusiasm about this place. I am trying. I've been walking and walking and walking. I can't find anywhere to eat. Yeah, Mirror Stream, whatever that means. The Mirror Stream fountain was built in 1947. So it's a fountain. That's not fountaining. Okay. So anyway, this is church with. I'll give it that. They look awesome. They are stunning. Oh, Jesus, I just have to seeing boarded up windows there as well. So yeah, I'll admit it. They look quite cool. I have no idea what it looks like inside. Oh, it's big steel doors anyway, so I don't think I can get inside. So you have the beauty of the domes there in front of the beauty of the opera house there. Maybe I think I'm just, the hunger's getting to me. And I'm just becoming an annoying prick. Just becoming an annoying prick. Anyone who's been watching this far has already made that conclusion a long time ago. I'm hungry. I need food. I need food. Putin, you're an almighty prick. So I'm holding my phone and an air raid alert just came in. Air raid alert. And you're going to hear an air raid siren over there, but no one seems to be doing anything. I've got wine and chips, so Welcome to Kharkiv, welcome to Ukraine. Air raid sirens and apps on your phone. It's just part of everyday life. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Anyway, I've had food. Not the most nutritious in the world, but when you don't know the language, you just point at pictures. So it was hummus and bread and then chips. But what you do? I ran a marathon 5 days ago. I'm allowed to eat shite this week. Yeah, talking about language. This is still kind of predominantly more Russian speaking. Now I initially kind of had not reservations, but kind of thoughts about this. How does this make sense? Considering the fact that this area voted 86%, so rather overwhelmingly, to become an independent Ukrainian state. How still so many kind of spoke the Russian language as opposed to adopted Ukrainian language. Now that is ballooning, that is snowballing at the minute, the changeover. But when you think about it, actually makes quite a lot of sense, really. I mean, think about it this way. How many people in Ireland and Wales speak English, but tell them, because they speak English, they're English. Mexicans speak Spanish, they're not Spanish. Brazilians speaking Portuguese, they're not Portuguese. They're proud to be Brazilian, they're proud to be Mexican. We're proud to be Irish and Welsh. So the language doesn't really make much of a difference. It's how much of a traditional influence that language has had in the area. But now there is a big push for locals to abandon the Russian language, because it's not their language, it's a language that they speak, but it's not the language of their identity, of their country, of their culture and history. So Ukrainian as a language is escalating. So it's a Russian speaking area, but that does not mean they have any affinity with the motherland at all. So after all that garbage, I'm on my way back to the hotel. We take the good with the bad. I love Ukraine. Ukraine rocks. I could see myself quite happily living in Dnipro or Odessa during the summer, because I just hate winters. Kharkiv, just not for me. It's just not for me. So anyway, see how it goes. We're going to try and get as close to the Russian border tomorrow. Seems we're only 30k, less than 30k away. I know I'm not going to get anywhere close to it. There's going to be army checkpoints and barbed wire, and I'm just going to get refused access, like I was when I was trying to go up the coast or up the river after Kherson, and that's to be understandable. That's totally understandable. So, but it'd be nice. It would be lovely. That'd be a hell of a picture. To be able to take a picture with Russia behind me, give them Putin the finger. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right, out of here. Bye-bye.